It's the Underpowered Hour. On this week's show, I'm live from England with the greatest group of Land Rover Avengers ever assembled. Nick Dimbleby, Bob Ives, Jean-Luc Masters, and Dan Ives all together in the same place. And now, without delay, here's the show. Welcome to the Underpowered Hour. I'm Steve Beres, mild-mannered television executive by day and Land Rover collector by night. You can find out more about our cars and what we're working on at theberescollection.com or follow us on Instagram at theberescollection. I'm joined, as always, by my good friend, Ike Goss.
Thank you to everyone joining us today. I own and operate Pangolin 4x4 in Springfield, Oregon, where we live and breathe Land Rovers. Check us out online on Facebook, Instagram at Pangolin 4x4. Let's get started.
Hello, fair listeners. Ike is traveling this week, but thankfully I'm just back from the UK, and I had an opportunity to spend the day with some of the best Land Rover people out there. John Masters had us down to the compound to check out all things G WAC, and we were joined by none other than Camel Trophy legend Bob Ives and legendary all-around Land Rover mechanic and expert combine operator Dan Ives. And what journey would be complete without a visit from our good friend Nick Dimbleby? That's right, it's the greatest roundtable ever assembled. So without further delay, here it is. All right, well, we're here live from the Masters Podcast studio. Our host is our good friend Jean-Luc Masters here, of course, the G WAC John, if you were on the Instas, here in the shop with the all-celebrity panel, of course, Bob and Dan Ives, and the one and only Nick Dimbleby, and of course, John Masters here as well with me. We've had a beautiful day out here in the English countryside and been booting around the two matching G WAC Camel Trophy vehicles. One, of course, that John has painstakingly restored from its obscurity, and another that he just found recently, the very famous car that even the Bob Ives has driven. So how was the day, everybody? Good to see you all. Thanks for having me. I appreciate your hospitality, and the use of your podcast studio is appreciated. So
yeah, you brought the weather with you.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice today. Apparently, there hasn't been sunshine since Christmas, so it's
that's
it. Well, nice to have it, and no more tomorrow. It's going. That's it. It's going tomorrow. So it's beautiful. And with some wonderful Dimbleby sessions out there. I got some great shots and Dimbleby's for my book, The Art of Dimbleby. Yeah, very good. Good. Will be out later this year, and working hard on that as well. And
always LA sunshine, but not temperature.
No, it's a little chilly.
You can see a little bit of steam out of our.
Yeah, we've got the heater going here, and it's
on your side.
It's balmy. It's balmy here in the garage. Of course, a beautiful Camel Trophy workshop vehicle.
It's balmy, B-A-L, or balmy, B-A-L.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's trying to. And then we're off the pub right after this, so yeah, that'll do a proper warming then. So yeah. How's that? What did you think? How was the day? How'd the truck drive? When the last time you drove that car?
35 years ago.
Yeah,
1990. Yeah, amazing. Yeah, it's like because I think I was my first time back on Camel after doing Camel.
Yeah,
fantastic being asked back as a marshal. And then I was sent. One of my jobs was go pick up Ian Chapman from the helicopter that's just dropped in an old Russian.
Right.
Any helicopter in the middle of a field somewhere. And I was just going to take a Discovery. All I remember was a Discovery with no roof rack on, which to me was a bit weird.
Yeah.
And Camel Discovery, no roof rack on. And it must have been that one. I said that was the only one out there.
And then that helicopter crashed a minute later.
Yeah. And Ian Chapman walks out with the bottle.
It was no problem. Yeah. It was like, every helicopter Ian Chapman rode in during Camel Trophy subsequently crashed. So. I don't know. It's just a coincidence, I'm sure. But
wasn't your drive to pick him up? Wasn't it the water over windscreen though through Rivers when you went to pick him up?
That was the later one. That was later on. But yeah, I did get mocked by a car. I had to drive through some Russian town to go and pick him up. And it literally was, I must have been in a traffic jam or something, and I was literally mobbed. I was actually quite freaked out, thinking, shit, these people riot, something. And they weren't. They were crowding around the car, really excited, and pointing at the Conround interior, all that blue plastic. They'd never seen blue plastic before, or a blue interior of a car. You know,
right. Just totally alien.
Yeah, it's just,
I haven't seen it since either.
The
little bag, that little tote bag in the middle.
Yeah, it was amazing, really. Yeah. So what those, because
obviously, yeah, you started with that other G WAC, didn't you? That was your
563.
Yeah.
And found
Did you
that.
just buy it as a
But then
was disco, or were you into G WAC then? Or
I was into G WAC Discoverys in general and early Discoveries.
because you had a G WAC, another G WAC before. That.
Yeah, I had one of the pre-production launch cars was used at Plymouth, and I've always fancied a Camel and the opportunity to get that G WAC come up, and it was in a hell of a state, as you guys know.
Yeah.
It was resprayed red, nearly all the gear taken off of it. And we spent 3 or 4 years just collecting all the parts for it and stuff. And in the end, start to finish rest day was 12 months once we gathered all the bits, and it was how you see it.
Right,
Yeah.
lovely, lovely job.
Yeah, nice to have some, multiple reviews on drivers.
It's a great car.
Doing
Yeah,
it.
it's a great driving car.
Yeah, make a checklist for the other one now.
Mhm.
It's backseat is Dan Ives certified, which is that's great.
Just
Plenty
enough room.
plenty of room back there. Yeah, no, very comfortable and
Cruises combined?
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, exactly.
Those are amazing things. That batch of cars, maybe you could tell us a bit about that then, John, in terms of...
Yeah,
that's it, yeah.
Yeah, you got 560, 61, 62, 63, and 60 and 61. They're quite an interesting start. They got driven into Red Square. Oscar ahead of the start. Then it was his brother. Yeah, drove one. And obviously
Those ones had...
We don't know where
the
those
kit.
Yeah,
they were full on
cage
tracks
and
and the whole
cage
deal.
and,
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then
no one knows where they are, then.
no,
They
maybe
disappeared. They're
we
in-
can find them.
Yeah, they're in garage in Chechnya or something.
maybe.
That is the mission. Try and...
Right. Let's find. Yeah, for all of our
We're gonna have
Russian
to do-
listeners. Yeah, actually, I think we're embargoed in Russia. We're part of the sanctions.
Oh, okay.
Everybody has to listen. That's the.
Oh, they have to listen.
Yeah, they
That's
have to
the-
listen. Yeah, that's the thing.
Punishment.
States,
Yeah.
But yeah, if anybody has a beat on that, man, that would be cool to see all 4 of them together again.
Yeah.
But and then where did you find one of them? This is a recent acquisition, the Chapman car from, or let's call it the Bob Ives car from France, or something.
UK still.
Oh, okay, yeah.
UK still. It was owned by a chap. Well, his father bought it from PRB Services, which were the people that got it off of Land Rover once they had used them all and got rid of them. And the guy's son Paul, he restored some of it and done a lot of inner shell work, and then it's just been sat in a barn for 4 years.
Okay.
And I had the phone call. I've known of the vehicle sort of 5 or 6 years. I had the call this December. Would you like it? And the obvious answer was yes.
It was left-hand drive originally and
Yes.
changed at some point.
Yeah, when his dad first bought it, they converted it to right-hand drive. But luckily, they kept all the left-hand drive kit. So if I ever want to go back, possibly one of them's got to go back left-hand drive, I think. Yeah, it'd be nice to do.
That way, when you come down here to the Masters driving experience, you get your choice.
Yeah, choice.
Yeah,
It's very important. Yeah.
Well, I mean, being a bit of a geek, let's look up the 560 and 561 on the good old DVLA thing. Yeah. So the 560 was last taxed in January 1991. So so basically it was a year of tax and then it's disappeared. Interesting enough, 561 last taxed in July 1991. However, the last V5 was the 30th of September 1997.
Oh, interesting.
So,
where is it? And why was the V5 changed in 1997?
Yeah, and the V5 is that the document?
That's the documentation. Every time you change a car,
like ownership or whatever.
it's exported. That's when the V5 goes.
Yeah.
I think they were both just 91 and that was it. They left the country, never came back.
Exactly. Yeah.
Seeing if it's...
Yeah. So
there's been a lot of changes between later.
Now,
But no, but it hasn't been taxed since 1991.
Yeah.
But it was changed in most of them. So. Interesting. Someone knows.
Well, again, we know, Vladimir Putin, big fan of the show, and again, it's used, I think, a lot in the torture of the prisoners there in Russia. But if he, maybe he turns one up for us, that'd be great. It'd be good, wouldn't it? It'd be really good. Yeah, it'd be really good.
I'm not sure what condition the roof rack would be in, but
Not too sure.
but they are survivors, aren't they? They really are.
And that's the thing. There's also like a certain amount that you want that sort of patina, right? I mean, you want a car that if it is even remotely original, you try to keep.
Well,
the paper cool.
562 original.
562's totally original. All the outer panels, doors.
All those scratches are from Ian Chapman.
Yeah, every single one.
Every single one.
They're used like a fridge code, but people own these things. I've got this yellow Land Rover. I don't know much about it. It's got a sticker on the side of it. It's been used. There's a blue one near us, isn't it? It's been used. Farmer used it. He won't sell it. He kind of likes it, but it's one of the blue camels.
Yeah.
We just kind of.
That has now changed hands. It's a Winchester, I think.
Discovery. Yes, that's right. Yeah,
It's currently under restoration.
It's looking good. Yeah. No, it was like I said. It was basically.
I quite often, because my full-time job's in farming, obviously, and quite often people at cattle market sending me a photo with an IFA trailer on the back. I was just thinking, I need saving.
We saw it.
Lovely.
But it's saved, isn't it? It's being redone. So.
High overlap, I think, of Land Rovering and farming here in the UK. Yeah.
But they're quite useful for farm.
Well, yeah, right.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So you have it like you don't get that much in the US, but here it's like
Well, they really, but the thing is, in the 50s, they see.
yeah. Well, that's right.
A lot of rushes.
The only reason that people really had them is the only reason there was cars. The official reason the Land Rover brought them over in '51 was because there was a demand from vineyards, from that sort of stuff. And I think it was a bunch of people who've come over from Europe, and they're like, "Whoa, we need an agricultural car. There's no PTO or anything on a Jeep, so." Something like that. So I think that's probably what did it. And then, of course, people got onto it and they're like, I need a frustrating car. And they're like, oh, this will.
Of course, in the US, it was all the bright colours as well.
Yeah, that's right. Bright colours.
More lifestyle.
Well, and in Canada, it was Forestry Service. It was, Crown Corporation Industries that were often buying things British made because, it's to appease the monarchy. And so, so we BC had a ton of them, right? There's specialty series one. I mean, Ike and I, had a ton of
that great colour Ike has with the Queen and Prince Philip.
Yeah, that's right.
That little sticker from whatever it was, 19.
That's exactly right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh, my grandmother was there. Oh, yeah, in person. Yeah. So it's a huge deal. It was a big deal for Canada. We still talk about it. Still talking. Proving it was great. So yeah. So what do you guys think? What's up in Land Rovering this year? Anything you guys are excited to get on to? You think there's going to be a new Discovery this year? Are we excited about Defender Trophy? Defender Trophy Verse
going on, isn't it?
Yeah, exciting. Yeah.
Hoping to be going along and take with people.
Be selected a British team that doesn't exist. Yeah.
Well, I hope I'll be able to.
You'll be the unofficial British team.
I'll wanger myself inside.
You will. Yeah.
It's crossed.
No question. I think just like it's not a trophy-led event without a Nick Dimbleby. It needs to be. Yeah, what do you think, Bob? How is
it was talking. We did some of the early trophy stuff with that one. They were talking, and they were going to be running Dakar at the same time. There's kind of rules going. Can they afford to keep both things going?
Right.
The Dakar and the Defender Trophy, and it's fantastic. They kept both going and actually promoting that sort of stuff now as well. It's great. Both things. Fantastic, yeah.
No, it is. It's a return to a Land Rover in sort of motorsport, or with Trophy being kind of motorsport adjacent.
Proud of doing that stuff again, which is nice to see. Yeah, that's really kind of great.
You see, there's a great cartoon. I think one of the French mags put it out. Land Rover returns back to the 1980s with sort of Dakar and Camel Trophy.
Yeah, right.
That's what made the legend.
That's right. Absolutely. Well, that's why people buy the car, right? And you think that has anything to do with the disappearance of Jerry McGovern?
No comment.
Coincidental, maybe, but we're working hard to get Jerry on the show, sort of explain what's happening a little bit there. We've got some calls into the office, so we'll see.
On your phone.
He is, no, I mean, as we all know, Jerry and I are very close, obviously, but no, nobody's seen or heard from him in months, so I'm sure it's fine. That happens all the time to the chief design officer of major car companies. They just disappear for untold amounts of time. Well, sure, but what do you think there'll be? They're already talking about the middle-sized electric Range Rover and things like that, but do you think anything's going to happen with Discovery, or is it maybe time to put that mark to rest for a little bit?
Well, with people around us been buying new sports again now and actually kind of they're realizing they're really cool again. They kind of went through a bit of a disco. They're actually kind of they're really cool cars. They're nice size. The UK anyway. And
well, the thing about them as well is you forget Discovery Sport is over 10 years old.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
it is, isn't it?
The launch was in 2015.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, and it still sells, right?
Yeah.
I think it still looks good.
Do you think it was a mistake to not call it the Freelander 3?
No, there you go. That's a
good question.
It really is the spiritual successor to the Freelander, not really the Defender, or not really the Discovery, rather. So, do you think now with Chery relaunching the Freelander, there's going to be a groundswell of interest in the Freelander again?
Could well be.
Bring out the baby Defender, if that's what it's going to look like. That's Defender shape now to become iconic, even despite all the shit, they got one heavy. You know, it's actually now become quite an iconic shape.
And it's been copied by numerous car builders now, isn't it? Yeah.
The Chinese and
The Yangwing, yeah.
There's a J2 as well.
As they say, copying's greatest form of flattery, isn't it?
That's right. Exactly. You got the Landwind, you got the Yangwang, you got it all. Yeah. And now Cherry, I think, is trying to do the same thing with the Freelander, and I like to think that's largely because of Nick's patronage of the Freelander.
and
brand.
as well.
Well,
That's stuff.
we do what we can, but
Keeping the Freelander
but I think
flame alive.
we've certainly done a lot to, I think, reinvigorate the base when it comes to Freelander. That's for sure. You know, I mean, everyone in this room has one or has at least had one. John had one for about 15 minutes, but
I've had a one, and then my partner Lucy's got a Freelander 2 now, so we've still got the Freelander.
close.
So we're good.
Close, yeah.
You done?
Well, it's that, sure. But I don't know. You've done an awful lot of work.
You said you went out for a drive the other day with your daughter and your Freelander, and you did you completed the drive in it.
I did complete a drive. It started an animal nest on fire that happened to be in it.
Right. Which is not really the Freelander's fault. Was it?
That's not the Freelander's fault. No, not at all.
Animals not to be in it.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So no, it counts as a drive. I mean, a drive with a fire, but not a fire of it. So I think
That's the drive. You didn't need a tow truck.
no, it got back under its own power and back, and it was fine. Yes, exactly, no problem. You know, so yeah, it's a victory.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a victory. You know, any day that a Freelander gets back to the point it left but under its own power is a victory. So
So mine's just come back from India.
that's right. And we're gonna do.
I literally picked it up 3 days ago from the port.
I was gonna say,
Funny,
I don't
right?
see you have your Discovery here today, not the Freelander.
I do, but that's because the Freelander is only just back and
Yeah, it's got to go through.
not actually MOT'd or taxed at present. So it,
You didn't need that.
well, no, it ran out on the boat on the way back.
India wouldn't back you, man, anyway.
No, it was fine.
No,
fine. Yeah, I wasn't. Like, life to be stopped. It's about 2.5 hours.
Oh, quite a bit.
Well, I'm tripping.
It was you and 2 other Freelanders, wasn't
Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah,
And all 3 of their expansion
3.
tanks cracked. Yeah.
no, just the 2.
Oh, just the 2. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
just 2.
2 out of 3.
Yeah,
That's,
so 2 out of 3 is.
I think that's lower than the national average, actually. So you're
But that's
in good
fine.
shape.
Just, just kept it topped up. And
Yeah.
Put the bands on and
For sure.
Go altitude, though. You're right.
yeah, it's about 14,000 feet, I think.
That's very impressive. Yeah. See, there you go. You know, people rag on the Freelander. Now, to be fair, those were all diesel Freelanders. Yeah.
We had a 2-litre diesel
Yes.
V6, which
Yeah.
was the G4.
Yeah.
And then ours is a 1.8 petrol.
Right. Yours is a 1.8 petrol.
Yeah.
Wow. And the V6
Fire that helps you.
No, it was fine actually. It was. We were. I was quite impressed at how well it zipped. Yes, it was really good. You just got to keep it in.
Yeah.
Keep it in the lower gears.
Yeah.
The rev side.
Yeah. You got to.
It's a Revy engine. Important. Yeah.
You get a lot of power to deal with there. You know, you got to keep that under. Yeah.
Shred the gears.
Yeah. For sure. Yeah. You got to know what you're doing to drive one of those cars. You know, that's
Coming away.
an expert's touch to operate a Freelander.
Magic gear changes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Silk and
So it's just so cool. I mean, and we're going to get you and Lisa going to come on and talk in depth about the
pleasure, yeah.
Freelander expedition. I can't wait to.
Keep quiet for that. Keep stories.
Oh, this is stay
Did they make it
stay
back?
tuned.
Oh,
Yeah, they may have died. Well, Lisa's not here. We don't know.
Good point.
Yeah, she
Lisa.
could have died in India. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's very sad. You know, like an Everest climber, she's still out there. You know, it's hopefully one day we'll retrieve her. Yeah, hopefully it's good. But speaking of the Dakar, what did you all think? How did you feel about this year's Dakar? Obviously, Land Rover did quite well in the class that they made for themselves. But what did you think? It was a good year overall.
It was. I think. Yeah, there's some great. I think it was my first Dakar. I'd never been there before.
Mm-hmm.
I was really amazed to be there. It was like a real privilege in terms of. Been something I wanted to do since I was 14 years old, so it was good. And then, what a great year to be in it. You know, that sort of.
It was a real good classic Land Rover presence this year, wasn't it?
It wasn't just the Defender team, which obviously was amazing, but the actual classic Land Rovers, obviously the Range Rovers.
Yeah.
You know, what was obviously the
Get so much coverage as a main event.
exactly. Yeah. Well, I think it's so great seeing these cars out there doing it. You know,
Such a neat eclectic group. Obviously, the guys in the Series 3 that won the classic, you know, that's fantastic. I mean, they did great last year, and then they won this year, and it just, you know, it goes to show you, like, you don't need the, you know, ProDrive built $1 million trophy truck.
Plus the 2 Gazelles.
They're going to be on the show here soon. So looking super forward. Obviously, Jenna and Liza spend a lot of time chatting with them as they're sort of, you know, charting a similar path. And man, but they did great, hung in there, and finishing is a prize in itself.
Totally.
You know,
Definitely.
Yeah, because it's full on in there in terms of distance.
Yeah.
And the fact you're always moving at the bivouacs.
Yep.
you have like, I think the maximum is like 2 or 3 days in one spot, and then the whole lot has to pack up. And it's like a big circus going up into the next location. So it's a huge thing. And it is, I mean, when you go there for the first time, it is like a real jaw-dropping moment. The size of it is enormous. Hundreds of teams, thousands of people.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, just things like the catering operation.
Yeah, sure, of course.
You go in there and it's a huge tent full of people eating, and somehow they manage to supply all that food. It's incredible.
Yeah, it really is. No, it really is. And they,
the logistics, all the parts and the part support, and tires, and
well, and I think it's starting to get real traction from a viewer standpoint as well, right? I think there's more people in North America that watched it this year than have probably ever watched it before. It was NBC Sports did the coverage for the American side this year, which is huge. I mean, that's a network you've heard of, as opposed to, God knows, it was on TV or something last year. I don't know. But, so I think, generally speaking, I think, with Formula One becoming so popular, I think now people are starting to look around at these other, overseas motoring events and realize there's more than just NASCAR, and that every other sport is better than NASCAR. So,
also for me, it's the fact there's so many dramas involved. There's so many stories.
Yeah.
There's so many, and things can happen in a split second that then completely throws a team that was doing amazingly well. Then suddenly something will happen, and they'll be like, well, I mean, like it happened with Verstappen Patina.
Mr. Patina,
had the issue with the defender that it couldn't be resolved on the track, and then they have a 24-hour penalty, and then that's it. He's no longer in
one rollover and one DNF, and that was it.
I think the defender trophy and the historic trophy is like Dakar is the fact that you got cars that are recognisable to everyday people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Prototype stuff. The Ranger Raptors. It's just a space frame chassis. It's not doesn't very relevant to it.
That's exactly right.
Day car, does it?
Yeah.
So,
No, and that's the same thing. Even with the Baja and stuff, the trophy trucks are amazing to watch. 1,000 horsepower.
They look a bit like the pickup truck.
Yeah, but it's true. The Dakar ones, the little moon
Ranger
buggies.
Raptor,
Yeah, they're like,
For a few years, they did look a bit like
a little bit like
it's a bit like a high Raptor or whatever.
Yeah, right. But now they're the gull-winged door.
They're more meaningful, really, aren't they?
Yeah, I think so. Well, and Ike and I have said this, since the outset of this, but, my hope is that this year, Land Rover bought a category. But my hope is next year, Ford puts the F-150 Raptor in, or the Bronco. And, there's, maybe Jeep fields a car, or, right? Yeah, exactly. Like, there's so many brands that are, have the same kind of luxury pedigree as Defender does that could easily compete in that class. And then I would love to see the Defender come back and win in a class with, real factory supported.
Record was saying, they want the competition. They welcome it.
Because I think it'd be very
they want that.
Because the car looked fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean,
It drives the innovation as well.
It does.
You've got someone to compete against.
Exactly.
That's right. Well, and then you could really root for it too, because if there's a Ford in there, you could really hate the Ford.
And it increases the drama as well.
That's right.
It's that thing where
Ford Racing thinks they can pick up a trophy. They're going to be there. So, I mean, hopefully that's how it goes, right?
and that's one of the reasons I think why Defender were keen to work and we get that category started, because it does need other manufacturers to come in and develop it
And do it, for sure.
But obviously you had to start it, and that was that they worked very closely to.
We're working hard with Suzuki right now to try to get a Jimny team. Jimny for next year. Yeah. The smallest.
Does that be like a one-person car?
Would have to be, it'd be a single seater.
It'd be smaller side by side, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But in that
Maybe
comes
like sideways
capability. I'd be like, we'll put a sidecar on for Ike.
Or how about a double Jimny?
Oh,
two of them.
Yeah,
side,
that's a good
side by side.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, let's really see eight-wheel drive.
Eight-wheel drive.
Yeah, I mean tiny wheels, but 8 of them. Yeah.
You want to,
Like a quad.
side by side. Yeah. So you have a 16. Yeah.
16-wheel drive.
It'd be about the same size as a trophy truck.
As it would be. Yeah. It'd be like and still 1/10 the horsepower.
Yeah.
Oh,
Once in a build, it's just standard parts, but just 4 of them.
yeah, there's just 4 of them. Yeah. So if the whatever goes out in that one, you switch it over to the front. Yeah. That's
There was that 2CV that had the two engines, one on the front, one on the back.
yeah. That's right. Yeah.
That's right. The Mini was it Twinny?
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, wasn't
It's
like
like they're losing now. It's like losing.
well, wasn't there a point where like Ian Chapman was like, well, we've got these A bars that we can attach to the Land Rovers, and like you just keep chaining them together,
That was the idea behind it.
right? And you take a 4-wheel drive car, you make it an 8-wheel drive car, but it never worked. Right?
We did it on ours. The first bit of mud we came to, they went, "Oh, hook up the A bars." We had 3 or 4 cars together, so 16-wheel drive or whatever. We went into the first bit of mud, real deep ruts. So we were all twisted up so badly, all 4 cars are stuck. And the A bars are so twisted up, we couldn't get the pins out of everything. And we were Brandon trying to jack up cars to kind of get the pins free, to get the pins out, and then winch. And that wasn't dangerous at all, was it? So the A bars all got thrown back on the roof and never used again.
That's right.
I remember doing the first trip I did in '96 was where we were doing the same thing but on ropes.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like a sort of a 10-car pull.
Yeah, but you have like a little bit of dynamic stretch.
Yeah, but it's a wild ride. I remember we were literally in the back. I'm sat in the back seat. Yeah, and it's just
Hanging on for dear life.
thrown about, and you've got no control.
Yeah,
No
the first guy gets going, and then about 6 minutes later, you get snapped into action.
It was pretty scary.
Some Japanese car that got thrown outside on.
That's right, because of course
Yeah.
the car would get rolled over.
Yeah.
And the guys that are 5 cars in front had no idea. So keep going.
Right, that's
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, there's been some, you don't know until you try.
It did work.
That's
in
the
terms
thing,
of
yeah.
getting through an obstacle. It did work in that respect.
You don't know until you try. So
It was also a little bit.
in fact, there's another one.
Well, no need for that today, though.
no, you don't need to lash together any cars today.
No discoveries on their side or anything.
Set of lambs.
Yeah, it was.
Great. I mean, all the good recipe for success. So not good scenery, nice weather.
Yeah, everything was nice and wet, some good deep puddles and things, and plenty of people walking, plenty of dogs today. It was I think this is the first time some of those dogs have been outside in a month, so it was good.
So how do you feel about other people driving your cars then, John? Because that's obviously, we're
As long as
very trusting.
as long as they won the Camel Trophy,
Yeah, it's fine. It's just everybody else.
As long as they're ex-Camel guys and all have extensive, collections of Land Rovers that drive worse.
It's everybody except for me. It's fine.
Used to steer all that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's always a little bit fun. But I didn't run headlong into oncoming traffic. So that's
No, I think we're only
consider that a success.
on one T-junction the wrong side, so we're all good at
Oh,
once.
probably, yeah.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it just happens,
It was good seeing them all the community,
Yeah, it's great to...
Couldn't help myself taking a few pictures, and it was great seeing the two just going on a little.
But I've never been out with Nick Dimbleby. He's not, not fake. He's on the iPhone.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
It was a great opportunity because obviously it was the first year since 1992 those cars have both been back together in the same stage, driving at the same time.
Oh, you're right.
Bird's Lane, actually, I thought has a slightly eastern
It does.
look to it, and I was like, oh, this is like.
It's got pale mud and
That's
water.
actually-
Yeah.
But no, the trees and mud weren't getting stuck.
No.
Nice gravelly bottom at least.
Yeah, it wasn't like at least nowhere it was sort of up to
the door. I know you're not going to get stuck there because big drop.
well, so someone else going to pull you out.
Unless you go off the track.
I see what you mean.
It's all been it's groomed enough to kind of keep going.
Did you got involved with the selections?
Yeah, you get reaching some.
Yeah.
Then.
Because it was you basically just chucked the car in a hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was, I guess they probably knew what there was going to be.
Yeah.
But it was generally in the winter, wasn't it?
It was always
It was always January.
Yeah.
There was one
Cold, wet.
There's one I remember seeing, I wasn't there, but it saw the pictures of like literally chipping the ice, breaking the ice on the water before driving.
With the canoe around the lake for the castle there, chipping the ice. Yeah. There's those old wading tricks. Still on one of the tracks, I can't remember which one of the tracks that you still have. There's still the remains of the old wading trench at the side of the track. Silted up now. And he used to, on the selections, chuck him in. The instructor would say, you get out of a passenger seat and get up on the bank, and you go, right, when you're driving there, you think, why are you getting out? You drive in, when the wheels, the car would be sort of stuck, the wheels spinning, you go, how are we, let's think, it's floating at the moment, the water would be pissing around the gear, sticking around the door, seals, finally get up to bum in the seat height, and there's the wheels back on the ground, and he,
Off you go.
How about the other end? Open the doors, little water out. He get the cup, the full mag, since nice and dry, put it back on the seat. So you sort of you be there, it's like freezing cold, soaking wet, and driving right with the next to it. Yeah, it's just obviously now can't feel those waiting trenches.
That definitely explains why my chassis on one of the G WACs probably weighs twice as much as what a football does. All full of everywhere on the car and the chassis, you poke through one of the holes and there'd be Eastern mud and silt coming out. It just gets everywhere.
You have all the rear chassis and everything. You made up a scraper to go right down inside the chassis leg. Pull out all these things.
The proper red.
Red dust, it's dust by then, 'cause it's all been dry out.
Yeah.
You've got this,
Should have kept it in a glass bottle, really.
Well, I was going to say,
At the time, I thought, no, that's stupid. I'm going to do that.
At the next camel auction.
It's a framing as well, so we mixture of Brazilian and Eastern mud. So
geez, and that's why there's now that's a terrible blight. And there's some kind of disease in that mud.
That little red mark, but goes
Yeah, don't let customs know about that. No, it's cool. Yeah, no, you should see you pull that mud out of there and just start selling it online.
Yeah, start bowling.
Yeah.
Even the carpets have been changed in that car.
They have 563. No.
Oh, right. The original
Yeah,
car?
they were. I pulled them up, and it was just still everywhere underneath it. Still,
Really, jet wash it off and then.
I've kept a little bit. I've actually left a bit in the car. Just
You have to.
yeah.
You take that bit out of the car.
But yeah, mainly just to get the carpets clean, jet wash them off a bit.
Because there was, I've seen photographs of those cars basically up to their door handles in.
They are, swamped basically.
something about toe marks inside. You sent door cards up, you said toe marks inside the
That's it. Yeah.
3 or 4 years in selections, those cars.
There were 3,
3 years.
90 to 92.
Yeah.
hard life.
Yeah, they certainly took it well. As for 562, all the body panels, there's not one straight panel. Likewise, your car, Bob, is actually used on the training. And I'd imagine it left the event quite clean.
Most did leave the events pretty
Yeah.
immaculate, really.
We were talking about that on the way back. Because my car was used by the French team as a training car, and then I guarantee you the lion's share of the damage and wear is from that period, not from when it was used on the Camel Trophy, because there just wasn't enough miles to really,
And what a great thing that you get given a car and they could say, yeah, you can drive into a tree. That's
no problem. Do whatever you want.
Brand new Discovery. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, a camel car. There was like a little tight corner, and it was perfect. You just got it on a tree route, and that just pivoted it round.
Well, it's
Talk about the Dunsfold.
Oh, that light like that.
Yeah.
It was a camel training car. Production.
Yeah, there's I think there's toe marks inside that one.
Well, there's nothing more capable of a car that isn't yours. You just give it the beans and you'll be fine. Whatever.
That higher car,
That's exactly right. Yeah. No, I came down the same lane as we went down. So I was a bit late because I just wanted to do a little recce before I came in for breakfast. Of course, to Master's Cafe here where we had Dan and
It's good, yeah.
I
Brilliant.
made some delicious bacon sandwiches. Yeah, which is
Everyone's still alive, so.
yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Currently.
properly cooked. Yeah, no.
I saw the food hygiene certificate on the wall.
Yeah. Oh, it's hard to get a booking here, I have to say. They don't do
It's a pretty exclusive cafe.
Spelling salts, heat the old pan up.
Yeah,
that's
all right. Yes, yeah. I had to move over to the induction.
We had some gassing issues, didn't we? Bottles freezing up, and
It's fine.
induction hob come to the rescue.
Yeah. No, you got to get on the resi now and get your bookings in for there's a Valentine's Day, of course, today, so it filled up very quickly. Very quickly.
Yeah.
But
So what is next? What's the next project then, John? What is the...
Next project, well, it's currently sat at yours, Bob, and Dan, isn't it?
Is that a secret project?
That's the top secret. It's only open now. It's gone up on Instagram. For the chap in Spain owns it, but I'm going to restore it. A 1985-90. It's one of the Dutch team cars. I seem to have a habit of buying wrong colour candles and putting them back to the white colour.
Well, you're a
It's been resprayed white, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So
and it's had the roof raised or something.
that's it. Yeah, in Holland.
That's it.
Raised roof.
In Holland, I think it has to be a certain height for it to be classed as a van, in which case you get the tax back. A lot of these. That's why you often see vans in Holland with these weird top. But it's only, I think, it means that to be the whole width, not the roof.
It's not much.
That's right. Yeah,
much,
that's
isn't it?
But
It's like an inch or two.
It's like a really podged Popemobile.
There's quite a bit of work to do that one, isn't there?
Yeah, a little bit.
You'd be correct in that then.
Yes, I think so.
It's got the original wings with it, hasn't it? But I don't think it'd be used.
They're a bit pretty dented.
They're pretty dented, aren't they?
Express the kid. You've got like roll cakes.
It's got the majority of the Americans on it.
With it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of based on it at the moment.
Oh, we bolted it back in for the book launch.
Oh, that's right.
Pop rimmed panels on the sides where the windows were, isn't it?
Try well done up and some proper windows.
totally worthwhile though. That's a very cool car.
We're getting back to
that 85 was I think that's what got me into it.
You've got those iconic shots of them, really deep and more. Obviously, with the helicopters as well.
And there's so few around now, isn't there? It's just,
They're so rare. So rare.
They're one of the sort of holy grail cars in the camera world, aren't they?
Original 90.
Yeah. It does make me think we need to get you to restore Popemobile, though, as well.
Yeah. But respray. Sorry.
Exactly. Yeah.
for Ian Chapman.
Yeah.
With the Pope in it? No.
I had a fake Pope in the back.
You've driven the real Popemobile with a fake Pope in it.
Absolutely.
Huh. Like a decoy sort of situation? I
was a distraction.
Yeah, right. When the actual Pope squirreled away.
It was actually 30 years ago this week.
What?
Very.
Yeah. So it was part of a job I was doing for Rover France.
Yeah.
To celebrate the end of Range Rover production.
Okay.
Classic.
Yeah.
Back in 95.
Mm-hmm.
So they had a team come over where basically it was a photographer called Dango, who was French, obviously.
Yeah.
And he was making this film.
Okay.
After this, I'm going to go and find the original video, and I'm going to try and I'll download it, and we'll have to upload it.
So really, put it in there.
We went around the whole of the UK, basically looking up these old Range Rovers.
Okay.
They made a film.
Right.
And the film was this French actor, basically, who was dressed up in different costumes appropriate to the vehicle. So we had a Range Rover six-wheeler with he was dressed up as a sheikh.
Okay.
And then we had sort of the Pope. What else do we have? So we had he was dressed up as a country gent with YVB 151.
Okay.
Which is the chassis number 1.
Yeah,
which is now it's a Land Rover Classic.
Yeah, it's a classic.
So he was dressed as a country gent, and they actually had the PR manager was dressed up in a kilt. A full Scottish.
Yeah, right.
And so the film was. I mean, it was just an opportunity to this guy to dress up and
drive Range Rovers.
what a great.
Well, that sounds like a great premise to a film to be. I think we need to create the sequel of that for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, so that, as part of that, the Popemobile was at the time owned by a private individual in Cardiff.
I see. Yeah.
And we went to Cardiff and filmed it, and as part of that, I had to have the opportunity to drive it.
To drive the Popemobile, to be the Pope chauffeur, the not real.
And this time, this actor had brought the full papal regalia.
Yeah.
So it was great. As a 22-year-old driving the fake Pope.
There you go. That is that. What a career life. So what a body of work, if you will, Nick. Yeah, it's really exceptional. Well, it's just on that note, it's pub time, I think. And we're definitely, like we said, we're definitely going to have, Nick, you and Lisa on to talk about the big Indian adventure. I can't wait to hear more about that. Bob and Dan, as you know, always welcome anytime. Need to get to back up in Washington and Oregon and do some proper. Yeah, right. Where California, maybe. Yeah, maybe California. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. And then, of course, John, we must get you out to California.
Even if it's in the container.
It doesn't matter. We'll put you in the get it. Good. And it's fine. Stick you in between some of those trailers and call it a day. Yeah. But as always, guys, thank you for the day. This was incredibly fun.
Thank you to John as well for
my pleasure,
trusting us with your vehicles. It was
hosting us and again, letting us drive your cars. Again, I didn't run headlong into anybody, so call it a
great success.
Yeah.
Thanks to you two guys for continuing the weekly.
I'm sorry that we do, and although we've been
masochistic listeners, and
people have tried to stop us, and we just cannot be
silenced.
So, yeah, exactly. So sorry I couldn't be here, or you're welcome that I couldn't be here.
Or so you think?
Yeah, here he is. Yeah, that's exactly right. But yeah, we'll be back. We'll be back in the studio next week, and oh man, we've got some exciting stuff coming up. You guys are going to be quite fond of, I think. And like I said, we've got a call into Jerry's office, so if he turns up, you'll be the first to know. We'll make sure we let you all know that we've found him and he is alive and well. We've asked for a proof of life from Land Rover, and they've still not produced it. So with any luck, we'll see you all again very soon. Yay!
Awesome. Well, that's it for another exciting episode of your second favorite podcast. We'll be back next week with Ike and a brand new show. Until then, we'll see you on the trail. The Underpowered Hour is produced by Liza Beres, Ike Goss, and me, Steve Beres. Pavel Svardov composed and performed our theme music. Consider supporting the show on Patreon, and if you already do, thank you. Your support makes the show possible. For even more, check out our Instagram or Facebook.